Hey book besties, I'm Haley.
And I'm McCayleigh. Welcome back to Two Chicks and a Plot Twist.
Season 2 is here and we're messier, moodier, and more obsessed with fictional men than ever.
Expect chaos and all the twists your TBR can handle.
Let's get plot twisty! Hey everyone, and welcome back to Two Chicks and a Plot Twist.
Today's episode is a super fun one because we're talking all about the books we're currently working on writing.
Yes, this feels a little terrifying. McCayleigh and I spend so much time talking about other people's books, and now we have to talk about our own.
Literally, but today we thought it would be fun to give you guys a behind the scenes look at our projects, where we're at in the process, and what inspired them, and probably spiral a little bit about writing in general.
Yeah, so if you guys have ever wondered what kind of stories we actually write when we're not recording these podcast episodes or talking about books online, screaming about our book boyfriends, this is the episode for you.
Let's get into it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I was just going to say, Okay. So we're just going to ask each other sort of questions about our books, and we'll sort of talk about the general over everything and talk about where we're at in the process. And I think McCayleigh should go first because I've talked about mine on my birthday episode. So go back and listen to that, and we'll talk about mine here at the end as well. But McCayleigh, tell us all about your books. So you have 2 self-published now. If you want to give us an overview of those 2 and talk about what you're working on now.
Yes. So the first 2 books that I've already published, and it's a series. The first book in the series is Isle of Lies and Legends. It takes place like just a few years before everything in the next book happens. It's our lore, it's about our villain, how our villain becomes the villain. And then in our next book, which is Isle of Beasts and Shadows, about a girl who goes to an island. It's full of monsters. While she's there, she hits it off with a Grim Reaper. Then they go back to her kingdom and monsters follow. So there's action, romance, all those things we love in a good little fantasy book. And we also meet our big bad guy in that one, like I had mentioned. And so then I actually wrote the prequel after I published this second book, air quotes. So originally I said, you can read them in either order because I published them backwards. And then Haley was like, well, I think you should read the prequel actually first. So that's what I tell people now. But that was really exciting.
So
that is an ongoing series. So
I was gonna say, it's so funny that the way that you do like your elevator pitch, I know word for word what McCayleigh's gonna say because we've been to so many markets together. I'm like, yup, and they follow her back to her island, yup. Yeah. And always
word for word.
Always the mention that I like prequel before book 1 technically. I love a villain origin story, and that's what I tell everybody. I'm like, I like the bad girl. She's cool.
Yes. That was my first time. Because, I mean, I think any debut author will write about a little bit of everything they've ever wanted in a book. And they will put it in their first book that they ever write. And I think that's what I did with the first one. And it's about my perfect main character and her perfect, and then it all crumbles, whatever. And then Isle of Lies and Legends was the second book I wrote, but it was so much more fun to be a little darker and a little bit spookier, evil. Like she's not that's just something to your brain chemistry. So as a writer, highly recommend to write a book about a bad guy from a bad guy's point of view and how they become it just my brain. That was good. But now that is an ongoing series. Next book will come soon. Won't touch too much on that. But right now I'm currently querying agents for my next book. The Wingless Dawn is its working title. And by the time this episode releases, I will have announced everything on Instagram, officially, title reveal, trope reveal, everything. Because at the time of recording, this has not been shouted out from the rooftops yet. But it is inspired by Barbie Fairytopia and all those cute little magical things we love. I've gotten in touch with my favorite character artist ever, and she's brought all my characters alive. Like, that is where my headspace is right now. That's what's taking up my days. I'm just like, "Oh my god." So,
Yes.
lots and lots of fun, but taking it to, like, I'm upping the stakes in this book. So, it is not for, "Oh, little six-year-old me." No, 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 no. It's still young adult, technically, but there's a lot more death and gruesome things happening to these poor
Mhm.
little fairies. So I'm glad. I think the
Yes.
Barbie generation of the 2000s will really appreciate this book. So very
Yay.
excited,
Tell
but
us
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, tell us about what it's all about. So it's inspired by Barbie Fairytopia. So it doesn't follow that same storyline because you say it's a little darker. Can you give us a little
Yes.
insight to that?
Okay. When I say it's a little darker, I also have just been working on, like, social media content and, like, what could I compare this book to? Well, obviously Barbie Fairytopia, but also this is so niche, and if you're not a gamer, you might not know, but Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild kind of vibes because
Okay.
it's dark in that sense. It's very quest driven, and when I say, like, the original flying sickness, right? It's actually an acid that eats away fairy wings. And we get a little gory into it, like description wise.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it's like, oh, we're actually scared of this thing and we need to
Yeah.
fix this. And it's also like manifesting, it's like rebuilding the more this acid feeds on these fairy wings. It's called bloom light. Fairy wings are made up of bloom light. Bloom
Mhm.
light created the world that they live in. So very, very like lore filled, but the bloom light, it it brings back who I called the villain, Lothara,
Mhm.
um, in inspiration of Laverna, if we're getting into our Barbie
Barbie?
Fairytopia brains.
Yeah.
So it's very dark,
Mhm.
very gruesome. We've got rebellion in here. So our main girl is not physically similar to Alina in any way, personality wise, also very different. So we've got darker features, everything, very much okay with being like in the background. Like, if I'm out of sight, out of mind, people won't bully me. She's totally content. And finally realizing, whoa, I'm the only one unaffected by this sickness, she's able, like, it falls on her. It's like forced upon her. She's like, well, I'm
Mhm.
the only one who can actually help. So she's forced really onto this journey of, let's stop this. Who can I go to for help and everything? And then also there's like rebels because it's a winged hierarchy. So anything with wings is immediately above anything without. Fairies, and then it goes to like pixies and like all the little winged creatures. If you don't have wings, if you're a creature that doesn't have wings, you're trash, man. Like, you're
Oh no.
garbage. And so, therefore, we've created this rebellion. They're called the root-bound rebels because they are root-bound. Haha. And so they live underground in their like secret little tunnels, and it's lots of fun. Um,
Mhm.
and I'm glad I got to play with all this. She meets a man. We have romance. He has secrets. He might lie to her a few times. He might not lie to her a few times. Um, but it's a lot of fun. And like I'm also introducing a character that was like inspired by a doll that didn't make the cut for
Okay.
Barbie Fairytopia. I did a huge, like, I've never researched Barbie so much in my life. This book was originally written to propose to agents, and like it's definitely not done the traditional way, but I really wanted this book to be like Wings of Starlight is to Tinkerbell. I wanted to do
Mhm.
something of that way. Obviously, I probably would have toned it down some in terms of acid eating the wings and super gory stuff. But here we are. I
Mhm.
decided to just make it purely its own thing, separate from Barbie, everything just inspired by. But I don't wanna say too much because I don't wanna give it away, and I also haven't worked as well on my elevator pitch for this book as I have
Mhm.
the other series. I've had a lot of practice on The Forgotten Isle, but I'm just
I
really
think
excited.
I think something that everyone, all of the Barbie girlies wanna know, is there a Bibble in this story? If so, what is Bibble's new name?
Yes! So, the creature inspired by Bibble, his name is Pipkin, Pip for short. He's this Pip! He is the cutest little thing. My character artist, when I went to her, I was like, "I don't know exactly what he should look like." I just kinda gave her a general idea, and she made something for me that and he looks like a Littlest Pet Shop character. And she's
Yeah.
from she's from Thailand, so she had no idea what Littlest Pet Shop even was, and then I sent her pictures, and she goes,
Mhm.
"My god, I've never seen these things before." So,
That's cute.
it was really, really fun to play with that, but just like a I would describe him as a orange chinchilla with wings. I don't know.
Oh my
He's
god.
really cute. He's really cute.
Aw,
Um,
Bibble.
but yeah, and I mean, a few tropes that I would say are in here are we've got he falls first, she falls harder. It's a political fantasy because of the rebellion and
Mhm.
everything. Definitely some angst and tension. So she's
We love.
traveling with this man and he's helping her. It's a lot of fun. I won't spoil anything.
So fun.
So yeah, I don't want to give too much
Yeah.
away because I haven't practiced, but
Where are you at? So at the beginning, you're querying. How is
yes, I
querying
am
going?
querying.
And maybe we should explain what querying is. So, for listeners who don't know, querying is whenever you send off your book sort of proposal. You'll talk about yourself, give like a little synopsis of your book, and you can send like the first like 3 chapters or so, first 50 pages to literary agents who will then say, "Oh, I like this. Give me 100 more pages, or give me the full," or 9 times out of 10, no, or no response at all. Querying is like crazy.
Oh, it's so crazy. So I actually started back in November with querying,
Mhm.
and originally I was querying it as that kind of Wings of Starlight to Tinkerbell
Right.
kind of vibes. Like I wanted it to actually be canon with Barbie Fairytopia and everything else. Very, like I said, not the traditional way to like take it that way. But
Right.
I queried and then Alex Aster released Barbie Dreamscape announcement. And so then I decided, okay, this is actually not going to happen right now because Alex Aster just announced, and this was in January.
Mhm.
Haley and I were in New York together when we saw on Instagram that Alex
Yes.
Aster took up the Barbie role. So I was like, okay, let's take a right turn. Let's change it up. So I made it completely my own. And this time I don't have to follow anyone's rules but my own and hopefully
Right.
future agents. But I took like a little break to make it my own and
Mhm.
rechange whatever I needed. And I've been querying ever since. And I mean, it's a long and slow process. You're on your agent's time
Mhm.
for most people. Haley got hers in like 3 weeks, which is amazing. I mean, it's a journey, and I mean,
Yeah, it is.
I'm just cruising, really. I'm just
Yeah.
working on my Instagram in the meantime. I'm getting my character art. I'm because if I don't get an agent, then I'm going to self-publish it. So
Yeah.
it's going out there one way or another. So I'm preparing the same way regardless,
Yeah.
and just querying to these agents and hoping for the best. We're gonna see where it goes.
Yay.
So yeah. But that's enough about me. So I mean, for now, I'm sure there will be plenty more to come. But Haley is on this crazy publishing journey right now. I'm so happy for her. I think we all are. We are very excited to go to New York with her in hopes of, book related
Yes.
things. But Haley,
Yes,
take it
please.
away. What is the book? What are you doing right now? I know we touched on it in your birthday episode, but today, right now,
Yes.
as of recording, May 6th, where are you? What's going on?
Yes. So, since my birthday, there have been a couple of changes. So, I'm just going to do a little overview of everything. So, if you missed my birthday episode, no worries. You don't have to go back necessarily. So, Previously, my book was titled Enemies in Edit. That has since changed. Our new title is called The Romance Revision. My agent and I kind of came to the conclusion that we think that this sort of encompasses the book just a little bit better than Enemies in Edit. I will always and forever love Enemies in Edit. That's my baby that I came up with on my own, but she is now called The Romance Revision. And what The Romance Revision is about, this is a romantic comedy. It is set in the publishing world, and there's an editor, and she gets roped into a book club challenge to live out a rivals to lovers trope, which is very inconvenient considering that her real life rival is another editor at her same publishing house who is critiquing all of her work and all the romance novels she works on like it's an Olympic sport. He is very annoying, and she is like, dude, what? How can you hate romance? And that's sort of their whole back and forth, back and forth. He has good reasonings, and she's like, this is my whole entire life. How can you hate it? It's just so good. And I'm so happy that it's sort of spreading its wings and we're almost there. And so really what inspired the romance revision was last year in 2025. I found this brand new genre, guys. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's romance. I've never read a true romance before, just romantasy. So last year, I went on like an Emily Henry binge and an Abby Jimenez binge and so many other amazing romance authors. And I loved it so much. I was immediately obsessed, fell in love. And I knew after I read my first few, I was like, I want to do this. I love this genre so much. And I was so sad that I've never picked up a romance book before. And two, it's set in the publishing world. Like I said before, McCayleigh and I both love anything book related. And since we've gotten to start the podcast, we've talked to so many amazing authors and ghostwriters, people in the publishing world. And we've gotten all these behind the scenes there. And when I sat down and I was like, okay, what do I want my book to be about? Immediately, I was like, publishing world. Of course, we know all these behind the scenes already, and it just felt right. Then it is set in New York City. Of course, that's sort of where the big publishing world is at. I always wanted to go to New York too. And then, like McCayleigh said, we just went back in January. So it was so cool. When we went there, I was like, ah, this was in my book and that was in my book. And I'm actually getting to see this in person. It was so much fun. I could actually like sit down and see my two main characters like walking the streets and they're getting coffee together and they're going out for drinks. It's just so cute. A couple of tropes in the romance revision. Rivals to lovers, like I said at the beginning, that's sort of the whole trope there. It's just filled with tropey goodness and a ton of bookish callbacks like Jane Austen. Like I have my main character, Elle, her cat's name is Pemberley. That's from a Jane Austen novel there. Romance, excuse me. There's workplace romance, like I said, publishing house vibes, all the bookish banter, the tropey goodness, forced proximity, of course. There's also a road trip. I love road trip. Whenever I was writing road trip scenes, it brought me back to Road Trip with a Vampire by Jenna Levine. I was like, Jenna, I'm thinking about you while I'm writing. Of course, slow burn. And like I said, there's this cat, Pemberley. He has opinions and he judges hard. And he is a good character. How does that saying go, McCayleigh? A good judgment. He's a good judgment of character. That's what I was.
Yes.
Pepperly is a good judgment of character. And I think that it's really perfect for anyone who just wants to learn more about the book world too. Because like I said, we've got to talk to so many amazing people. I've sort of taken something from all of our authors and included it in there. So I think that that's really cool. Yay.
I think that your book is so amazing. I haven't read the most updated version, which
Yeah,
I eagerly awaiting to. I do have a more updated version than the original time I did read it.
I
So
think
I
so.
might have to like go back and take a sneak
There's
peek
a bunch
before
of
the
changes. Yeah.
actual release date. Like I read it pre-cat, like before the cat existed. So I know there was a lot of changes made, and I'm very, very excited to see like your cover and everything. Like there's
Yeah.
gonna be like a lot happening for you when
Mhm.
the actual like submitting to all these editors and publishing houses.
Mhm.
A lot is
Yes.
coming. Like I'm
Yes.
most excited for the cover because now all of a sudden I've become a character art girly, cover art girly ever since we like started looking for character art together. But now I'm like,
Mhm.
I can't see your cover, do you have a vision in mind for what you want the cover to look like?
I am working with a character artist right now just for social media purposes, not for cover or anything like that. And when I spoke to her, I was like, I want there to be two people, and maybe she's or my main character Elle is like mad at him and like he's like whatever. I don't know. I can't really
Like the
fully.
cartoon characters, like that kind
Yes.
of
I
vibe?
like an Emily Henry or Abby Jimenez cover. I love something like that. I would love to like see writing, proofreading marks maybe on there that's like alludes to them being editors in the publishing world or like a New York background or just something. I don't know. But I can't wait to share like my character art just for social media. It's gonna be so cool.
So excited. When you see it actually created and it exists, it, like, feels different. It's like, "Whoa, this is real now? Like, my character is a real person and someone created
Yeah.
it?" It's so
Yeah.
crazy how artists are like, "Okay, I got it," and then they do it.
Yeah. They're
What?
so
I
cool.
don't know. So wild. It's like they reach into your brain and they pull out your character. So, we are in the
Yes.
character art trenches right now, the
Yes,
2 of
we
us
are.
together. We are obsessed with character. Send your recommendations for artists our way. We always
Yeah.
love to see the artists. And also, for any writers listening or anyone in the query, like, who are trying to do what we're doing right now,
Mhm.
will you share your query letter with us?
Full query letter?
Just the
I
letter, just the letter. 'Cause your girl got her agent in 2 weeks,
McCayleigh.
maybe a week and a half.
Let me pull it up. It is
We
kind
also
of
gotta share
long.
this to Instagram too.
I
It
know.
should be
I By the time this episode comes out, my query letter will be up on my Instagram somewhere. But I can share a little bit about my query. I think that my query also has some spoilers too, so I'll sort of jump
yeah,
around.
you can jump around.
My very like beginning, before I even wrote like dear someone, I said she edits romance, he thinks love is a plot hole. Cause I was like, agents will immediately be like, okay, this is exactly what the book is about. I don't need to read the rest of the whole thing. So I put that, and then wrote dear whoever. I am seeking representation for my romantic comedy. It was previously titled Enemies in Edit, completed at 85,000 words. This novel blends publishing house chaos, trope driven hijinks, and slow burn chemistry that will appeal to fans of Emily Henry and anyone who loves a witty, emotionally satisfying workplace romance. And then I just get into what my book is about, and I talk about how my main character, her name is Elle. She goes to book club, and her book club is sort of chaos loving gremlins. And they tell her that she needs to do this tropey, she has to do this romance trope plan, and she has to pick a romance trope out of this glittery fishbowl, and she has to live out on this challenge. And enter in our main male character. Miles Reynolds is another editor. He dismisses romance novels. He is a grumpy, guarded, and so frustratingly handsome. And suddenly he's everywhere that she goes. And I won't say everything else because this is very spoilery. But it will be up on my Instagram, like I said, but that's just the beginning parts there. And then I ended off with saying just a little bit about me. I'm a writer and avid book enthusiast who runs a podcast about books and storytelling. I dive into character driven narratives and author crafts, and I've always been fascinated by the quirks of human relationships and how love finds its way even in the messiest, most tropey ways. So that's sort of my query letter. I know it probably doesn't make a lot of sense just hearing it from my voice, but you can read it on my Instagram. I promise it'll
Yes.
be up by
I
this.
think I think hearing the start of it for people too is like, "Oh, that's how she got people like the agents hooked." Because also
Yeah.
I haven't like my tagline comes after dear agent's name. So my tagline is Verdantia, I can't even pronounce it right. In Verdantia, wings determine worth. Aralai was born without them, and in her world, that makes her expendable. So, like, I think maybe I should put that at the very top
Mhm.
and
Maybe.
shove everything else, but I don't know, just
I
like
don't
little
know.
tidbits of information.
I haven't seen anyone else do it that way. I just did it and I was like, this makes sense to do it this way before I even say dear whoever, you know what it's about. And it's not even in the subject of the query. Because typically in the query you'll say what your book title is, the
Yeah.
genre, things like that. But I was like, if they read this, they'll know immediately what it is. If they're interested, awesome. If not, it's okay too.
Yeah.
So they sort of know.
So the query worked, obviously. How did you get the agent? Like, how did you book it now?
Yeah.
Everything.
How I got my agent now is sort of insane and queer and just crazy because I honestly queried at the most terrible, horrible possible time of year. It was the week of Thanksgiving. And I did it on a Saturday, and I was like, "You know what? I just wanna get this done. I wanna get it over with. I'm just gonna do it now." Not even thinking, not doing any research or anything about it, which is totally not like me. I was like, "I'm just gonna do this, going blind. I'm gonna submit queries." Fast forward, maybe it's Monday now, probably. Little Haley is like, "Let me start looking this stuff up," because now it's like weekend at Haley is over. Now I'm back to work, Haley, and
Oh,
everything
no.
is like, "Do not do this, do not do that." I'm like, "Oh, I did that, and I did that, and I did that." And I queried then maybe 20-ish agents, and then I got my agent now. She messaged me week of Thanksgiving still. I think it may have been that Monday. And she was like, "Hey, I am not even done with the first 50 pages. I know I'm obsessed with this already. Send me the full." I was freaking out because, like I said, it's Thanksgiving week. I also, by then, by the time I read her email, I was not home. I left my laptop at home. We were traveling to see family for Thanksgiving. And I emailed her back. I was like, "Please do not forget about me. I left my computer. I will get back to you next week. I promise." And she was like, "Girl, don't sweat it. That's totally fine." So I was just very anxious and very worried. And McCayleigh knows all about it because I'd be texting her about it every single day. But it finally got to her. She read it. She fell in love with it. She offered me offer of representation sometime at the beginning of December, maybe, or mid-December. And by then I had queried to maybe another 20 agents. I don't really remember. I got a few other full requests, and then once I got my offer of rep, that's when you go to all your agents and say, "Hey, I have this offer. You have 2 weeks to say if you want me. Otherwise, I'll go with this person." So then after that, I got 3 more offers of rep, and then from there, I went back to my original agent. Her name is Rebecca Rod at LGR Agency in New York. So if anyone's interested in
Yeah.
publishing my book, go to Rebecca, and she can tell you how to get me. For me, it was just such a fast process, and that is not the norm at all, like McCayleigh said. We both know authors who query for months and even years, and I just feel really lucky with how everything turned out. And after us talking to so many different authors on here, like Lexi Ryan and so many amazing authors who are like, "Yeah, I queried for years." Publishing is really luck of the draw. Luck that the right person reads it at the right time. Like for me, I'm feel very lucky that Rebecca stuck with me while I was gone all Thanksgiving. And yeah, so my way of querying is going to be different from McCayleigh's way of querying, and McCayleigh's will be different from another person. Querying is never the same for anybody, and I did it in a very not sane way. Do your research before, is what all I will
Not
say.
sane.
Do research before. Don't be crazy. Don't query around holidays or anything like that because, yeah. It turned out fine in the end, but it was kind of like I had anxiety for like 2 or 3 days, like worried if I ruined my writing
Your
career and
chances?
being crazy.
No.
Yes.
3 days into querying, you're like, "Oh, I've ruined it." No, but it worked out. I'm glad it did because this has
Yes.
been, like, so exciting. Getting to
Yeah.
watch it like, firsthand, seeing you do all of it, I'm just blown away.
Yes.
I'm, like, just as excited as you are for this. I am actively waiting to hear back, like, see a text from Haley. I already envision it now. She'd be like, "Oh my god, a publisher picked it up." I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the text. Very
Knock
excited.
on wood. I go on submission at the end of this month. And last we
Whew.
talked for my birthday episode, I had thought we were going to wait until the fall. And my literary agent was like, "No, we're ready now." We
Yeah.
edited my book 3 times. So we are working through my last edit now. And then we will go on submission by the end of this month. And
Yeah.
submission is where my agent will send my book to editors who work at publishing houses. They'll talk about the book and give them, I guess, some of my chapters to read. And if they want it, they'll say they want to pay me. Please pay me.
Yes!
And
Yay!
if that works out, if multiple editors want it, then it'll go to auction, and please pay me even more then. That'll be amazing. I got student loans to pay.
Student
All the
loans,
editors
let's
watching
go.
this, but yes,
Wow.
submission to just like querying is such a long process. There's chances that editors won't even want your book, and that can happen. And this process, from what I've done my research on, and I reached out to a couple different authors who are on submission now, it could be just like I said with querying, weeks or months or even a year, because editors are so backed up. And summer's around the corner and all these holidays come up too again. So we'll see. I think, and my agent, we're both hoping, because this is set in the publishing world, hopefully editors will be like, oh, I want to read this and I want to see if she got it right. So I have been very meticulously going through my entire manuscript, making sure, okay, this is exactly how this happens. These are how people address each other in this type of scenario. So lots of research into how editors actually work. It's been crazy.
Wow. And it paid off so far. So
So far.
it'll
Knock
keep
on wood.
paying off. We know it will. Again, very excited. And
Yes.
is there anything else that you want to say about the writing process, querying process, the
The
romance
writing
revision?
process. The romance revision. I would prefer to draft an entire book than edit my book now. Editing is crazy. I would rather draft an entire new book. Editing is
Yeah.
hard. I think that to be good at editing, you have to take criticism very well. And when I got my first editing letter back, I was like, my agent hates me. This is terrible. I don't know what to do with myself. And I told her, I was like, I was a little stressed out. And she's like, never be stressed out. And my agent and I just had this great relationship that if I think something should stay, it'll stay. And if she thinks something should be changed, she will give me a great reason why. And if I want it, great. If not, that's fine. Everything goes back onto me because I'm the author. So I love our working relationship. She wants the best for me, and I trust her. I trust
Yeah.
Rebecca. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, she's a pro. So here
Yeah.
we are. Ah,
Yay.
yay. But I agree on the editing. It sucks. It's
It does.
not very fun. I agree. I'd rather just write a book and I don't know. I get why Wattpad writers do it. Like it's
I love
full of
Wattpad.
errors, full of editing errors. It doesn't matter if the plot actually makes sense. You just throw it on Wattpad. You're creatively
Mhm.
functioning. Like just
Yeah.
boom. That's all that matters. Creativeness. But
Yeah.
then you start actual books. It's like so technical, and you got to get it right. The grammar, the sentence structure. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, you're taking all the fun out of it. But
You're like, how
it's
many
still
times
worth
should I
it.
use a comma in this sentence? Too much.
Too
It's
much.
crazy.
Yes, but we do it because we love it. So
Yeah, we
here we
do.
are,
And
ultimately.
McCayleigh and I have wanted this life for ourselves for years, and we're this much closer to getting there. We're so close, but so far. But it'll
Yes.
be okay. We've got this.
Perfect. Yay.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for today's episode. Hopefully, you guys liked hearing all the behind the scenes about the books that McCayleigh and I are working on.
Honestly, this episode really just reminded me how chaotic writing a book actually is.
Honestly, but talking about writing both of our projects, the Wingless Dawn as well as the Romance Revision, have been so much fun. Hopefully one day you guys will be able to hold the physicals in your hands and read them.
Yes, yes, fingers crossed. And you can go ahead and find us over on Instagram at Two Chicks and a Plot Twist, and my personal is at McCayleigh Daniels.
And you can follow me on Instagram. It's at Haley Stop Books.
We'll be back Thursday with another episode.
Bye!
Bye!